comfort and distractions of today collide to indulge our desires and provide a slow death by apathy. A superior primitive ethos exists. Prepare for tomorrow. Defend what you value and lead those you love. This mindset is the foundation of living an authentic life as a bold, disciplined man resolute in your mission. Prepare, defend, lead. Your mission. Own it.
All right, here we go again. Back in the saddle here. Having taken a hiatus and shut down EV after 3+ years. My name's Joe Prim. I am the host of this here podcast. If you listened to Ever Vigilant in the past and you have come back to join me with this new endeavor here with Prepare.Defend.Lead, welcome. Thanks. I appreciate that. If you never listened to Ever Vigilant and you want to check out maybe a little bit more of what we have to look forward to here with Prepare.Defend.Lead, go check out. There's a few episodes still up on iTunes and Spotify and wherever else you can find podcasts. Really, when I shut down Ever Vigilant, I had never had the intent of coming back and doing this again. It was time for a break. I needed to shore some things up in my family and with what was going on in my life. But we'll get into that too a little bit later and further down the road as this thing progresses. But this is episode 0.5. I really wanted to have an opportunity to test out the microphone, test out the software, test out the new intro, and kind of just get going on this. So I decided rather than kind of do that back behind the scenes or play around, I would throw out this little teaser episode to get people excited about what's coming up and what we have to look forward to. So Prepare, Defend, Lead will be starting up in October. I'm not going to put a date on that as of yet, but we will say October. I think it's important to get out there and give people an opportunity to get their mind wrapped around what we potentially have coming up on November 3rd. So this podcast here with Prepare, Defend, Lead is going to be a little bit different. We're going to focus on solutions rather than whining and complaining about the way things are now. Far too many guys are in a hurt spot, hurt position, having difficult times in their life, having difficult times in their marriage or with their family or with work, or not seeing the success or going anywhere that they thought they would go with their lives. And rather than start to take action because they don't know where to start, they bitch and whine and complain about everybody else that's standing in the way or why they'll never get what they want. And then they just slowly die an apathetic death, like I mentioned in the intro. We're going to laugh a little bit more on this show. On Ever Vigilant, I was always dead serious. And in reality, I like to joke around. There's chaos going on in the streets. There's riots, buildings burning down, people getting the crap beat out of them every single day by black bloc and by police officers. So we need to realize that when times are the toughest, when we're going through questionable circumstances on a daily basis, it's okay to laugh. It's okay to find humor in life. It's okay to find humor in your family, in your friends, and in what you have going on. Not that we take the serious stuff lightly, but we gotta take a break from the seriousness, or at least ease off the gas pedal once in a while. We're going to talk about the news a little bit more. I'm going to take articles that I find, things that are going on in the news, whether biased or unbiased, maybe some articles on mindset or on violence, things like that. I'm always reading, and we'll break them down, share them with you, read through these articles, read through what's going on in the news, and kind of break things down. It's going to be a combination of episodes with just me, and then we'll get some guests back involved as well. Did that for years with Ever Vigilant, having a guest on every episode, and that can turn into quite the handful, trying to make sure not only that you are set up with good guests that are going to provide a good show, but that everything gets edited and figured out. I think we'll do a lot less editing this time around. I think I'm a lot less worried about the final product than I was before, and just have a lot more confidence with the years under the belt from doing Ever Vigilant. So we'll get guests back involved. You'll recognize some of the people back from Ever Vigilant if you go back that far with me. We'll bring back some of the favorites. But we'll also reach out to some new people that can give us real in-depth information on preparing, defending, and leading. And it will be a lot less of a topic-focused podcast when the guests come on. And we'll sit back and we'll talk. Won't be no time limit with the guests. We'll change it up a little bit from what we were before. So back to what I kind of started out with, unintentionally. And like I said, I really took a break from Ever Vigilant, or really wasn't a break. I kind of was a quitting cold turkey. And I needed that. I needed some time to focus on my family after the big move down to Texas and switching jobs and starting a new job. I needed some time with them. I needed to focus in on them and be sure that I was listening to what they had to say and getting involved in their lives, especially with the chaos and craziness that's going on in the world around us. During that time, we bought a piece of property in Texas Hill Country, little piece of property to call our own, and that was going on, trying to get that taken care of and everything buttoned up with that. And anybody who's involved in that process at the moment probably remembers or knows firsthand how much of a pain that can be. We tend to forget that stuff when we move away from the paperwork, and we kind of seems like we block that part out of our mind. But that was it was a challenge. Yeah, a lot of stuff going on in order for us to get that finalized, and then again too with getting building plans taken care of and getting builders lined up and design and all that stuff taken care of. So now that stuff is kind of off of my plate. Properties in our name. We have plans, and building will start shortly on our piece of property. As time goes on and we move forward with this podcast, we'll share a little bit more about the property and what we're going to be doing there. And all I really know for sure is that we will be doing things a little bit differently than we did when we were in Illinois. Not sure what we'll have for animals. Not sure how we will work things out like that. But I know for a fact that we will simplify things. That we will set things up to work for us rather than put ourselves in a position where we are constantly working for the animals. Just a different mindset, a different way of looking at things as we get into it this time. Really excited though. We have no regrets in our move down here to Texas. For the most part, people down here, great people. The economy here, if we're going to go through a rough patch, which looks like it should be coming up here, and for a lot of people are in the middle of it, this is the place to weather it. a lot going on in this region here in Austin area. So I'm glad to be here. Starting to fit in. Got a good job now. Meeting some good people. Really starting to get our feet underneath us after being here for a year. But I don't want this to be totally about me in this little teaser. So let me throw something out there I was thinking about yesterday as I was on my morning run. I did the 75 hard challenge with some of the guys on Instagram. It was huge. It was really an important part of me stopping Ever Vigilant and me getting my head back in the game in a few other areas. And a big part of that also was I don't want to be the guy who has a podcast and talks about being a good father, talks about homesteading or preparedness, talks about these types of things, but is not living it out. I will not be that hypocrite. I will not be that guy on Instagram who posts things but doesn't live that out, who posts the one time he's doing something in order to portray an image. The reason I talk about these things is because they're important to me. And obviously, if they're important to me, I would live them out. So I never want to be that guy. And not that I was doing that, but I needed to wrangle some things back in to make sure that I didn't become that. So when I was out for my run yesterday, I was able to run 5 miles. And then did that 5 miles in like a little over 41 minutes. And as I hit that mark, and as I shut off my tracker there when I hit the 5 mile mark, and I saw my time of 41 minutes and some seconds, I was pretty blown away. And it really hit me because it had not been that long ago when I truly believed I would never be able to hit a 9-minute mile. My goal when I started doing that 75 hard was to hit 5 miles in 45 minutes. And I pushed and pushed and pushed and pushed and ran and ran and ran. And I did not think that would be possible. And here I am, months later, blowing that number away. And it reminded me of times in my life where I really lacked confidence. And maybe sometimes we confuse lacking confidence, or we misunderstand what lacking confidence is, because you can lack confidence in most areas and absolutely lack no confidence in some areas. But it's kind of rare. It's kind of rare. But as I thought back to times in my life where I lacked confidence in myself or wasn't sure what I needed to do, and I realized where I am today and what I'm able to venture out there and do, I start to realize that there are 2 main things that give you confidence. Because as the old adage goes, or how we usually talk about building confidence, right? Because confidence doesn't just happen overnight. It's built. And how is it built? Confidence is built by goals reached and by risks, or we'll say well-timed risks, executed successfully. I'll repeat that again. Because these 2 ways of building success really solidified in my mind as I finished up that run and blew away a time that I never thought I'd be able to reach. Am I more confident as a runner? Yeah. Is my stride good? No, it's awful. Do I love to run? No, I hate it. In fact, most days when I run, I hate it every step of the way. In fact, usually when I come to that 3-mile mark, I'm back a little bit closer to where we live, and every single time I think about pulling up my run short for the day. So is it easier? No. Am I more confident? Yeah. So does it build confidence only in my ability to run, or does it build confidence in other areas of my life as well? It builds confidence all over the place. So again, confidence is built by goals reached and by well-timed risks executed successfully. Goals are important. Personal goals are very, very important. Because if you don't know what you want or where you want to go or what you want to do, how can you ever get there? We always have a predetermined destination every time we leave our home to go drive someplace, to go to the grocery store or go on vacation. We know where we're going. Set up your life that way as well. Some people are big on writing all sorts of goal plans up and having dates for execution and goals set for this and for that and how to do things. Everybody's different. That stuff may be exactly what you need, or you might just need to get stubborn about something and say, hey, I'm going to hit this. This is my goal. I'm going to hit this weight, or I'm going to start fasting on Thursdays, or I'm going to pay this off, or whatever it might be. Get that goal in your mind. And then when you hit that goal, you'll be more confident in order to hit the next one. All right, guys. Plenty of talking for me. Way more longer than I expected to go with this little teaser episode. Hope you guys are well. Hope you guys are looking forward to Prepare, Defend, Lead. And thank you for listening. If you want to jump on board with what I have going on with Prepare, Defend, Lead, if you want to help get this thing rolling, help get it off the ground, like I said, I bought a new mic, and Spreaker costs some money. So if you would like to help out, help things get rolling here with advertising and stuff, anything that I get from you guys in donations, I will roll right back into this podcast. So that we can share it, we can spread it around, we can get this idea of prepare, defending, and leading, get it trending. Because we are, as I said early on in this year on Ever Vigilant, I said, there has been a paradigm shift. We will not go back to the normal that we all would like to go back to, or that most people would like to go back to. I really have no desire to go back to what used to be normal. I think we can improve on that tremendously if we really want to. But I really alluded to the fact that we're playing a different game now. There's a paradigm shift, and the sooner we understand that, the sooner we grab a hold of that, the better off we'll be. And all these months later, that prediction turned out to be quite right. And the better we can adapt to where we're going and where this world is going, and the easier we can put ourselves in the position to, the better we can put ourselves in the position to easily shift things on the fly if needed, the better off we'll be. But we have to accept that. That's step number one. So if you'd like to join along for this ride, we'll go back to this as I kind of went down a rabbit trail there. But if you'd like to contribute, I would appreciate your donations. We'll throw them right back into what's going on here with Prepare, Defend, Lead in order to get the word out, spread this thing around, and move this thing forward. Hold fast, men, and God bless.